2020. This is amazing. This is awesome. If you want to talk to them, I'm going to do a few shares real quick.
Cool. So it is New Year's Day. For a lot of people, it's going to be the day that they make their goals for the rest of the year. For us, we're daily battle planners.
Daily goalies.
Yep, you set a goal in one day, you make that goal, on to the next goal, bump it up, hit that next goal, bump it up again. So what we're going to talk about today is going to be that 2020 vision.
That 2020 vision, you're obsessed.
I am obsessed with that term. Yes.
That's awesome.
But it's good. It's good to have that, have that forward thinking, have that vision for the rest of the year.
Heck yeah, it's good. Even when you plan goals every single day, just this one big push into a new year, everyone's doing it, but they don't necessarily know how to execute on it.
Yep, so we're going to talk about 5 different ways that we can achieve that, achieve all of our goals that we want to hit in the year of 2020.
Absolutely.
Perfect vision.
Absolutely. Let me just share one more place. Yeah. We have a few people watching with us. This is awesome.
Sweet. Who we got?
I don't know.
We appreciate you, whoever you are.
Yes.
Of course.
Awesome. And let me just share it one more time to my personal page.
Cool.
If I can, which I can't.
You can do it.
You can do it, Darren. It's really interesting.
You got this.
All right.
Yeah, it was kind of it's good to be talking about these goals too. We had a sale yesterday where we had to barcode the house, and no one else had done that really. We've got little Shannon's back in town and she knows how to do it a little bit, but
yeah, we haven't barcoded in a little while. We barcode on certain houses, and it looks good. Everything looks good. The quality looks good. That was really cool. How did that end up playing out over there?
It went pretty well. It's always interesting trying to do research for one without having internet necessarily, because we're out floating in the middle of the Detroit River.
That was really we're in Grozeal this week. I don't know what you already said because that was focused on my computer. But yeah, there's zero signal out there.
No, and it's gorgeous. I love it. I never really get upset when I get lost on the island anymore, just because you can just see beautiful wildlife and. Yeah. It's awesome. But yeah, the trying to figure out how to barcode, we had a goal. And it was frustrating to try and get to that without having the ability to research, update your inventory online, download your files, upload the photos.
Yeah.
You drove out.
Yeah.
Grabbed the camera from me, took it back up.
Yeah. And I literally was doing it while I was driving. I mean, I would stop, work on it, let it upload in my passenger seat, keep driving. But got those photos uploaded, and it's what you guys see today on estatesales.net or on Facebook. We have this amazing sale this week in Grozeal. So today is 2020 Vision Wednesday. Mm-hmm. Welcome to 2020, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah. I'm already on 2030, so I'm like, what year is it really?
We've been in the decade.
All right, fine.
How many hours? 9.5 hours.
I'm so ready to see what 3030 over 2030. I'm ready to see what 3030 looks like, man. I'm way ahead of it.
Aaron's buying a DeLorean next week. We're all going.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we talk about goals. We were just talking about, we're going to talk about the 5 ways you can achieve your goals in 2020. This year, we actually didn't set a goal last year on this day. We didn't say, this is what we want to achieve. But I think a couple months in, and I was going to ask you about this before we started the video, but a couple months in, I was like, Shannon, we have to do something. I have to be able to say, here's all the sales, and I need you to say, let's do this. Or something. We had a conversation at some point. Do you recall that conversation?
That's what I was trying to think if it was, we had one upstairs in that conference room upstairs, where it was this is what I need.
This is what I need. We need to go full steam with no stops, full steam ahead. And I remember you just saying, let's do this. and we didn't really set a goal for what we wanted to achieve. I might have said something like, I want to do a couple sales a week. Like, I want to be able to do this.
And the initial one was, it's always been like the 10 sales a week.
Yeah.
And then we were like, but wouldn't it be crazy if we got to like 3 sales a week?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, now we're really pushing for 10. And I wrote down my goals yesterday, my personal goals. And looking back at them, yesterday's goals, I find them interesting because some of those I realize are probably next year's goals, but I want them right now because all the other things on there are going to push me to be able to achieve next year's goal.
Yep.
And so you really, I guess the first thing, but not the thing on this list, is that you might want to work backwards. Where do you want to be in 10 years? Where do you want to be in 5 years? What does that look like? And say, what do I need to achieve this year to do that?
Yeah.
I think that would be the first thing to be able to set those goals. Like, I need that address. You know, I want to have a place in Miami, and that's my goal for this year, is to do that. But I think that's a next year goal. I think that's a $20 million goal, like business goal. But you never know.
And we've only set ours at 10 million this year.
Yeah. We want to. So our goals this year. I mean, I'll read a couple of them. We want to do $10 million in business this year. We want to go to 50 employees. We want 10 sales representatives. We want to do 3 auctions that make over $300,000 each. Best health of my life. Winning. Most successful year of my marriage and daughter. Doing amazing. I want my executives making over $100,000 a year. I want 5 new locations outside of Detroit. So I want to have 5 other franchises or what do we call licensee that are doing Aaron's estate sales in other cities by the end of this year.
And what was my response to you posting that on Insta?
I don't know.
It was, I'm on it, boss.
I'm on it. All right, cool. I'm sorry. I was in an appointment and I just saw all sorts of communication coming in. So I actually didn't put all of that together. So I'm sorry.
Okay. That's all right.
Let's do this.
We message each other an obscene amount too. Yeah. So it's all right.
Yeah, that's awesome. So let me see. I want to see if there's any. If you guys are watching this, hit the like button, hit the comments. We would love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your goals. I just told you my goals. If you can't say them out loud, if you can't communicate them to other people, then you probably have people around you who shouldn't be. That would be a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it's not on this list either. But if you can't scream at the top of your lungs what your goals are, then there's people in your environment that shouldn't be in your environment because you don't feel comfortable communicating.
Yeah, someone's told you that you should not communicate, that you shouldn't be proud of the things that you want to accomplish.
Yeah, absolutely. So, goals. Huge goals, massive goals. Welcome to 2020. 2020?
Yes.
All right, cool. That's going to take me a little bit. So, what is the definition of goal?
It is the end toward which effort is directed.
I really think that this definition is like a partial definition.
Yeah.
But I also think that I really like that they use the word effort because I think that a lot of people just think of goals as like some big unattainable thing and then they don't do it,
Yeah.
But the definition of goal, the end towards which effort is directed. And so I looked at the derivation of this. And in the 1530s, the end point of a race, back in my day.
Very specific time period too.
Yeah.
1530s.
That's because what they usually do is find like the earliest reference to this, and then like in writing, and that's where they attribute it to. Gotcha. So the end point of a race of uncertain origin appears once before this in the 14th century, and with an apparent sense of boundary obstacle. So I really like the derivation of this endpoint of a race of uncertain origin with boundaries and obstacles.
That's interesting because it doesn't necessarily a boundary is not necessarily something that keeps you from something. It's going to challenge you. It's going to have to have you define what that boundary is.
Yeah.
But the thing about boundaries and obstacles that you surpass them.
Yeah, exactly. And so with this, I really like the fact that it also says uncertain origin, because when you have goals and you hit them, it's not just like, here's the end goal. I want to achieve this, and then I'm dead. Like that's not how it works. So I like that, you know, you got to keep putting goals out there. You got to keep putting ideas and thoughts into the universe that you can then create. So in boundary and obstacle, like you were just saying, there's going to be things you have to overcome to hit this. It's not like you're just going to go out. Like if I was going to say my goal is to wake up, that's not, I mean, there is obviously like boundaries and whatever, but it's not that big of a boundary. It's just like, hey, like, or step out of bed. And for some people it may be, so I'm not trying to disrespect that, but I'm just saying if my goal is to pick up this piece of paper, there's really no boundaries for me to do that.
And there's no fun in attaining.
Yeah, there's no fun.
Yeah.
But if this is like, if it's something I want that I have to go get and I have to go through these barriers and obstacles to achieve that goal, it's basically life. The goal is life. You have the boundaries and the barriers to achieving anything. And so I really like that goal, the end towards which effort is directed. I think that's a great way to start it. The other thing that I see in this definition is the word effort. And that's a huge, huge point in what we're about to talk about in achieving your goals. Before we get into effort, I'm just going to refresh this on my screen. If you guys are here, send us a like, send us a comment. We'd love to hear from you. We would love to hear from you. And yeah, awesome. So we're still here. We're still here with you. Yeah, cool. So effort, physical or mental exertion. Goal, the end towards which effort is directed. So effort, physical or mental exertion. So I actually cut this definition because I didn't like it. I didn't like the first part of it. I like this part of it. The first part of it said strenuous, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be.
No, because if that's effort right there.
Yeah.
That's not strenuous.
Intent is effort.
Yeah. And so, you know, mental or physical exertion is the definition of effort. So the end towards which effort is directed, if you have a goal, you have to put effort towards it. That's the thing. You're not just writing down things that are nice to have or that, you know, decent. You have to have things that you're going to have to put effort towards. And so effort comes 15th century, which is 1400s, from French, and then taken from Latin. And I found it interesting. Effort, the first part is ex, which means out, and then fortis, which is strong. So strong, like outward motion, is effort. And so that's where that comes from. Yeah, I really like that as well.
Yeah.
And so with effort, we're talking about the correct amount of effort. We're not talking about too much effort. We're not talking about too little effort. Like I could pick up this coffee and I could pick it up with the correct amount of effort. Yep. If I come at it with too much effort, it's going all over the place.
Oh, yeah.
If I come with too little effort, it's not going anywhere. So with your goals, that's another like point to consider, and that's why I wanted to go over it. So the 5 actions that you must do to achieve your goals this year. Do you want to read the first one?
Sure. Having a goal.
Have a goal. So
pretty easy.
The first thing to achieve a goal is to have a goal. You wouldn't believe how simple this is, or how overlooked this really is. So when people go through life, and I'm talking about, you know, like even us this past year, we didn't necessarily have a goal that we're looking back upon saying we hit that or we didn't hit that.
Yeah.
And so without a target or without a goal, you can't achieve what you want to achieve. So if you want this, this, and this, you have to put that there as your goal, or else you won't know where you're going. You won't be able to align those efforts to actually achieve that. You'll just be having random efforts in every which direction. And I think that's huge. So having a goal, if you don't have a goal, you can't hit that goal. So that's the first point that I would say on here. So I think that's pretty important part of the first step of this is to have goals. So if you don't have goals, if you are just kind of sitting there going through life, every day you're working hard, not working hard, whatever you're doing, but all of those efforts that you're doing, what are they leading up to? What is the result? What is the damn goal? You know? What do you think about that? Having a goal.
I think it's really important. You know, you got me into battle planning and goal setting this year. When I battle plan the night before, and I know what the tasks are that I have to accomplish and a way in which I have to accomplish them.
Yeah.
I go to bed with. I shouldn't say I always go to bed with less stress. There's certain times where I know that it's mounting, like where the next day is going to be. It's going to be one of those days where the word strenuous does come in.
Yeah. Yeah.
But on the whole, like a lot of times when I battle plan the night before, I do like. I just go into the flow and I just write my little ship for the next morning.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you're aligning that, you're putting the intention there that this is what I need to get done. This is my targets. Mm-hmm. I love that. Number two on this is having the correct goal.
Yeah.
So if I put out a goal this year, I want to do another 100,000 in business or something,
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal. It's not exciting enough, to actually play the game. And I think that this is where people get lost in their goals is they say, well, I want to lose weight, or I'm going to stop eating sugar, or I'm going to, do whatever they're going to do.
Not have a cup of coffee.
Not have a cup of coffee. Not a big enough goal.
I lasted, of waking hours?
A few hours?
An hour.
An hour? Yeah, yeah. And so when you're looking at your goals, you want to put large enough goals that they will change your life if you hit them. Exciting enough to play. And this actually hit me again yesterday when I was writing my goals. Mm-hmm. And I forgot about this point. And this is why, there's other points on here to follow. But I wrote my first thing on there and I was like, oh yeah, that is my goal. I could actually achieve that this year if I do all these actions. I have a new clean slate. Like, let's do this. I was like, wow, I can get that condo on the beach. I just need to figure it out. Like this year that could happen if I actually achieve these other goals.
Yeah.
And so now it's exciting enough to play it. Now I'm refiguring out problems instead of being overburdened by them and things like that.
Yeah. My goal this year, that whole thing of if we can't speak our goals out into existence, what's going on in our lives? My goal has always been, I want to make six figures.
Yeah.
I spent a crap ton of money on a college degree that I did not attain, and it has bothered me ever since.
Yeah.
But I was going to prove that I was going to make six figures.
Yeah.
In personal revenue.
Yeah.
Correct goal that year, and it feels good to hit that correct goal, and it just goes to show too that once you hit that one.
What else? That's when you start being. Once you hit the goal, you realize how small the thinking was.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, that wasn't the right thinking. That was kind of easy, even though it was hard.
Yeah.
But wow, I did it. Where's the next goal? What's the next big thing that I should do?
Yeah, and it, part of that major win goal is selling, buying my house at the right time, selling at the right time.
Yeah.
But it's not, I'm not the only person that can ever do that, and that's not the only way that I can ever make that money. But to know now that I can invest properly and make it on there.
Yeah, that's amazing. No, I agree 100%. And so the second part about reaching your goals is having the correct goal, making sure it's big enough to actually play. Make sure it's big enough. I was thinking about this the other day. When you're we do things that are exciting for us. If it's not something we're interested in or exciting enough, we lose interest pretty fast. Mm-hmm. We meaning humans.
Yeah.
And so all of the actions that we do are either for necessity, and sometimes those aren't things that you want to do, or they're for pleasure. And so with this, if the goal isn't big enough that it'll actually change your life, or if it's not a game that you actually want to play, you'll lose interest in it really fast, and then you don't hit that goal. Coffee it's not the right goal because you're obviously interested more in coffee than not coffee.
The goal should be, get my adrenal system in order to where I don't have muscle spasms, my body doesn't hurt, and I don't require coffee to keep myself motivated.
That's and if that happened, how would your life change?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So much. Yeah. I'd be skipping through here. It wouldn't be wearing gym shoes because they're comfortable and we're near the front door.
Yeah.
It's because I'm going to be like a freaking gazelle everywhere.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that's the point. Is it's if you do figure out why like you're doing all these things, like what is the big goal? Like if my life, like I can see this envision of this $100 million executive that I want to become. And what that looks like for me is top health of my life. Like I have to be super healthy. I have to have amazing amounts of energy, more energy than I have right now. I have to be mentally fit. I have to know that I can handle all the things in my environment and be responsible for everything. And it's the same thing. It's just like that goal is big enough to play. Like, but there's the barriers and obstacles to hitting that. So you draw those out. So number 3, do you want to do number 3?
Yeah, for sure. It is the correct estimation of effort required to hit that goal.
Yeah, dude. If you don't estimate effort correctly, you'll never hit goals. So if you don't estimate effort correctly in life and the things that you're doing, you're never going to hit that big goal. So you have to really start looking at the little things and then the big things. Are you estimating effort correctly? Same way we were talking about this coffee. If I estimate the effort to pick up the coffee correctly, I pick up the coffee, I take a drink. If I don't, if I overestimate or if I underestimate, it doesn't happen. So you have to estimate efforts correctly. And when you're looking at a goal that you want to hit this year, you have to start figuring out what does it look like every week to actually hit that goal? What does it look like every month? What are my targets? What do I have to do to estimate this correctly so that it actually happens? This is the only thing that stops people from hitting their goals. Not the only thing, but one of the massive things is that they didn't estimate the correct amount of effort to actually achieve it. So that one's huge. Number 4, write your goals every day. Keep them at the top of your mind. Keep reminding yourself why you are pushing so hard, what the rewards are for pushing, through the mental and physical exertion. So write your goals every single day. This helps you reset. Why am I getting up? Why am I going to this job? Why am I producing this income? Why am I working with this person? Why? Because of this goal. And if those actions don't align to the goal, you have to reconsider the actions. And sometimes they help the goal in other ways. It's not like these actions will directly result in this goal, but you know that it's pushing you towards that motion, or towards that area. So if you don't write them down every day, like most people write their goals right now. That's it. Once a year. I want to do this year. That's it. It's not okay.
Well, I feel like too, like that harkens back to like any of the like great motivational speakers, writers, all of that. Like there is so much power in intention, and there's so much power in repetition and drilling. Yeah. And you got to think, like, I think it's Dale Carnegie that says like 7 times of saying one person's name and you'll get it. You'll have it retained. That works for every part of life. You tell yourself every morning, I'm going to do this. Yeah. At some point that's going to start sticking and you're going to start pushing to actually make it a reality.
Yeah, it's going to push you through. It really goes into the next thing, the last thing, number 5, is that whenever you feel like you're losing in life, whenever you take a loss, rewrite your goals and make them bigger. That's what happened to me when I wrote these goals yesterday. I was like, damn, I haven't written my goals in like a week. And I was being beat to hell on different things. And I rewrote them and I was like, wow, that's what I want. The problems don't mean nothing when I have that, like, or when I can achieve that. So I'll just figure them out. Like all of a sudden it was just like the problems weren't a thing anymore. Yeah. It just kind of went away, and I was just like had the responsibility level to now handle them because I'm being responsible to myself by hitting my goals or going towards my goals in life. So I think that's huge. Whenever you feel like you're losing, reset the goals. Reset them, because then you reinvigorate all this effort that everyone has on the first of the year to, I'm going to do this year. I want to achieve this year. My New Year's resolution is this year. And then that's it. And then that stuff's usually gone by 9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. I will also be avoiding the gyms because today is like the worst day to go to the gym because it's hilarious. Just slammed.
I'm going to do this. That's great. I'm glad that they're out there doing it, and they should like go right out there and do that. Absolutely. If you set a goal, you should start today. Like that should start now and not back when you get back to work or whatever else. Like, you should start achieving going towards that now and every day until you hit it. This past year, we've changed a lot of things in our business. We actually started doing statistics this year, so monitoring every part of our business, all the key indicators. We started doing training. We really started mapping out our goals, setting goals, and we're 8 years into this thing.
Yeah.
And so I can't believe, like, each year we've done better and better, except for like 1 year. But this year we killed it even without a goal. Just think of what it's going to be with setting that goal and working towards it.
Yep. And I think that is probably part and parcel to the fact that we don't do quarterlies. Like, we do them, but our stats are kept on a weekly basis, so that we're not looking at it at like, you're 3 months in and you're like, oh, I guess it would have been really cool if we had a few more sales in January.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. Yeah, you're absolutely right. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
I look back at last year and I'm like, wow, we really wasted some time in January and February. Even though we still killed it most of those other months to extreme levels, what if we killed it in January as well, in February? Like, we'd be even further along. And so now this year, we're not going to make that mistake. It's not.
Oh, yeah. We were in there, like, we all got in early yesterday, you, me, and Sarah. Yeah. And we stood there looking at the calendar saying, all right, we need something in there. We need something in there. We got Karen on the phone and said, all right, we need to pull from here. We need to just hustle.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then it brings us...
Yes, share it with them.
Yeah. So I already shared this online yesterday a little bit. This year we sold 74,282 individual items. 74,282 individual items at estate sales. 74,000 items.
And this is
right through that register.
And that's a small, shorter than it too, because it doesn't include any bundles or bags.
Yeah, exactly. And there's, so it's a lot more than that.
Oh, yeah.
Revenue jumped up like crazy this year.
That's what I like.
Yeah, we're on our best year ever. I mean, that's our largest increase ever was this year. That blows my mind because, and this is what I wanted to communicate, because I remember sitting here and thinking, God, I'm pushing so hard, and I'm not getting anywhere, and I feel like I've hit the top, we're going down. It's like, we pushed as hard as we can. We're doing as many sales as anyone's doing. There's no way we can do more. Like, there's no way is how I felt here. And then I had my mind corrected and reset the goals, and not really reset the goals, but reset a lot of things personally within myself, and was like, wow, that's stupid. We can do anything. Excuse my language, but that was awful. And we can do anything. And then we just kind of...
Oh, they actually can't see what it looks like.
Oh, that's so sad.
Oh, no.
I'll hold it up right here.
Let's see when it actually...
They can kind of see it.
It's a really good graph.
Yeah, so that was the other thing that I wanted to talk with you about that I was going to tell you when we came in here. Guess what formula we're doing today?
We're doing a little bit of power, aren't we?
I think it's affluence.
You think so?
Yeah, for sure.
It's heading up towards that upper corner.
I understand. That's definitely affluence.
Yeah.
But that's really exciting to be able to apply the affluence formula today. It's going to be really, really cool. So thank you guys for joining us on New Year's Day. Yes. This is awesome. Go kill your 2020. Go make it happen. Go make it yours. Don't don't let anyone else take advantage of your 2020. Don't let anybody else, affect you in a negative way. Go find positive people. Go find positive influences. Be around people who are winning, people who are pushing, people who don't give up, and really make it happen, because what else? Why else play the game?
Yeah, it's like, get yourself an accountability buddy.
Yeah,
we have, we got each other on this. Yeah. You make sure that I have my smoothies in the morning.
You make sure I have my Starbucks in the morning.
Yep. Having those people that surround you, pushing you, helping you towards that goal.
100%. And I can't wait to hit. I mean, you have to envision what your life, how you want your life. You have to see what it looks like. I look at my family, I look at my wife, I look at my finances, I look at my health, I look at my business, and what does the ideal state for all of those look like? And all right, now set the bar higher each year. Set the bar higher each day and really go to achieving those.
Yeah.
So that's what I want you guys to do. That's why we did this today, was that we want to help you achieve your goals. The 5 actions to help you achieve your goals in 2020 are having a goal in the first place,
yep,
having the correct goal, a big enough goal to actually play, the correct estimation of effort towards that goal, writing down your goals every single day, and whenever you feel like you're losing or whenever you take a loss, rewrite those goals. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great New Year's Day.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.